I'm going to mute myself, but I could hear everything. So if you need anything, let me know. There's also a little chat we could talk.
Thank you.
Also, from the start of this, I only have about like an hour and a half. So if it goes longer than that, which it could, then you are all on your own.
Oh, we can't do that.
Welcome to Tuesday Night Pickleball at the Orchard, featuring the Arizona Pickleball League. The Orchard Championship Cup is proudly presented by Jigsaw Health, Proton, and The Dink, and Pickleball Channel, and Pickleball Kitchen, and Selkirk TV, and Better Pickleball, and Into Pickle, and Pickleball Studio, and Sorry Not Sorry Pickleball, and Pickleball Will. That's right, it's a YouTube Championship takeover. Special live commentary from Ben and Colin Johns on Ben Johns Pickleball. And now, let's meet the teams.
My name is Michael Lloyd, and I started playing pickleball in 2020. My sports background is tennis, and I play collegiate tennis at the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. I started playing pickleball because it was a way for me to have some fun outside of college tennis, and just kept going to fuel that competitive fire. My favorite shot in pickleball would definitely be the Burt. Love jumping across the kitchen and taking away a shot from my partner to finish it myself. I can't play pickleball without having all of my jewelries and accessories. Always got to have all my crosses and everything before I step out on the court. If I don't have them, I'm hopping back in the car, hopping back in the plane to figure out where they are, because I don't go on court without them. My name is Michael Lloyd, and I play for the Peoria Pythons.
You remember when I
My
slapped
name is Lauren Mercado, and
counter
I
against
started
him
playing pickleball in 2021. My sports background is basketball. I've been playing
Not really.
competitively since I was in the second grade. When I first saw pickleball, I thought it was just mini tennis or a sport that older people play. But then
I
my
only
dad
remember the
started
lob.
watching YouTube videos, and he taught me how to play.
We're
And
definitely
after
gonna
that,
talk
I
about
love
that.
that distance. My pregame ritual is to listen to music before I go into a match or while I warm up. I like to listen to some Drake or some Travis Scott. My favorite shot is my backhand roll down the line. My biggest supporters would definitely be all the people from Sunset Park and Cougar Creek Park, but a huge shout out to Tammy, Leon, and Bricky being there from the very beginning. My name is Lauren Mercado, and I play for the Peoria Pythons.
My name is Patrick Kafka, and I started playing pickleball in 2022. Played tennis my whole life, went in to play college tennis at BYU, got to about 500 in the world, and then went into playing professional padel, where I represented USA and played in the World Championships in Qatar. I started playing pickleball because all of my tennis friends were playing, and I just felt left out. Everyone was playing pickleball, having a great time. My fiance kept pushing me to go try it. It just took one time. I tried it and couldn't get enough. Now I don't play anything other than pickleball. Pickleball is my entire life. If you're not playing it, it's like, what are you doing with your life? So my name is Patrick Kafka, and I play for the Peoria Pythons.
I don't think you should be good.
My name is Rachel Retker, and I started playing pickleball in 2020. My sports background is primarily tennis. I played tennis since I was a little kid, played it all the way through high school and college, even played a little bit of badminton in high school, and now I just play pickleball. My biggest fans are definitely my family. My mom and my sister, I know, are always rooting for me wherever I am, and also my little nephew, Troy. I know he has no idea what pickleball is, but he's always watching too. I always play pickleball with a braid in my hair ever since high school. It was a pregame ritual. I can't play pickleball with my hair in a normal ponytail. I'm more aerodynamic with a braid. My name is Rachel Retker, and I play for the Peoria Pythons.
Peoria. I don't know where that is in Arizona. I know Gilbert.
My name's Craig Johnson. I started.
I know.
Oh, Craig. Craig's my favorite.
Everybody else.
Oh, yeah. 7.0 drive. Forehand drive can
Forehand
you
speed
can get it
ups. I'm
rocking.
just a dad with
That's
a
right.
job who loves pickleball. Started playing pickleball because I just felt a deep void in my life to just, man, I have no idea.
He's
So I
so
guess my
funny.
only superstition is
Hilarious.
stepping on the lines. So you'll see me like tiptoeing between each point. I'll never step on a line between the points. My favorite shot is the Ernie. I've done 2. I think both times I was called for kitchen falls. My name is Craig Johnson. I play for the Gilbert Gladiators.
That's our guy. Not to be biased.
Not
My name
to be
is
biased
Ariel
at all.
Butler, and I started playing pickleball in 2018. I grew up playing tennis, and I played in college at a Division II school called.
Isn't this the girl that spiked the
I was
paddle that
playing
almost hit the
tennis
ref?
When I found pickleball, my playing
At the
career
APP,
had
did you
ended,
see that
and
video?
I still wanted to do something competitive.
I'll
so
have
when
to
I
send
found
it to you.
pickleball,
It's
I
worth a
thought
watch.
first,
Apparently, she got really
the
mad
funniest
after the
component of
match
playing
and spiked her
pickleball
paddle like
playing in a
DJ Young,
tournament,
and it
I
went
to
somewhere that it
swat
shouldn't
the
have.
air in frustration,
Huh.
and my overgrip was so slick that it came right out of my hand, and it actually.
Oh, here it is.
But in hindsight,
It's so good.
it's pretty fun. Thanks, teams of pickleball.
Impressive.
My name is Ariel Butler, and I play for the Gilbert Gladiators.
It's one of like those first pitches that goes just terribly awry and hits like the mascot.
Oh, yeah, like Conor McGregor, or was it 50 Cent?
2022. My
One of them, maybe both of
background
them.
is tennis and table tennis. I played tennis in college at the University of Arizona, and I played table tennis in grad school. I started playing pickleball because I love to compete and I love racket sports. And when I saw some of my friends who I grew up playing junior tennis with competing at a high level, I really wanted to start playing pickleball. My pregame ritual is if I'm outside, I'll slather on a couple layers of sunscreen. I'll change my grip, do a double strength jigsaw electrolyte drink, and I'm ready to play.
Double
My name is
strength.
Augie Guh, and I play for the Gilbert Gladiators.
I'm glad he pronounced that for us because I wasn't going to know how to pronounce the
My
last
name is
name.
Ashley Candelaria, and I started
Yeah.
playing
What is it,
pickleball in
Peoria?
2020. I played tennis for ASU.
Did I get
and
that
after
right?
that, I
Augie
traveled the world.
Augie Guh.
Augie,
I started playing
yeah, I would have
pickleball
messed that
because
up for
it's similar
sure.
to tennis, but it was a new challenge. There was a lot to learn. My favorite shot is the defensive flail.
Can you explain?
What?
I don't really know how to explain.
I hope to get
It's a lot of
a
arms
visual
and
on that.
legs.
I'm
I
not
want to
sure.
see a
That's
defensive
effective.
flail.
My biggest fan is my brother. He watched all of last
I mean,
season
maybe
to
that's what I
compete
do in the
for
midcourt all the
Australia.
time. You know, that like
My
jump
favorite
upwards,
moment
defensive
playing
flail,
pickleball was
and the
season
ball
1
somehow
of the
goes back into
Arizona
the kitchen.
Pickleball League. I played this awesome
This
point.
girl's
hit a
good. I
great
watched
shot
her
to
last
finish
week.
it, and my partner turns to
I
me
watched
and
TNT for the first time
thought,
last week,
he
and she was
said,
beating
"Hard to
everybody.
believe." Now every time I hit a good
I
shot,
didn't know that you
hard to
tune in
believe.
to Tuesday Night
My
It
name
was,
Pickleball.
it was the
Ashley
first one last week. It
Candelaria,
was
and
so
I
fun.
play
It was
for
a
the
really good
Gilbert
production.
Gladiators.
I should
I
start.
didn't know any of the players, but it was really fun.
Maybe that's better. You get tired of seeing the same people play
That's
each
right.
other over and
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
Who are some other characters that we could see in this?
What,
Maybe Zane
in
Affleck.
this league?
I think
Maybe.
Zane Affleck.
Oh, is Zane Affleck going to make a return?
I would
Absolutely
love to
good.
see him make a return to Tuesday Night Pickleball. Oh, this is a great countdown here.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this when we went to the Orchard to play.
Well, so I know we're live on YouTube right now. So anybody that's watching right now, I can't see your comments, but drop some comments anyway. Get some discourse going with each other.
Yeah, we may or may not have known that we were live this whole time. So hopefully you've been enjoying our commentary before the actual match begins.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have hundreds of thousands of subscribers? I don't really follow your channel, to be honest.
I don't follow my own channel that much, but I think it's somewhere between 10 and 20,000.
Oh, good. Good job, Maddie. Shout out to Maddie Torin, our social media manager. She's the one that actually made this all happen. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a YouTube channel at all, and we would not be here.
I like the roving spotlights here.
Yeah. I like that there's an apple, too. It's very appropriate for the orchard.
Uh-huh.
It's too bad there's not a viewer count. It's probably, you're bragging about how many subscribers you have at 20,000. We probably like 2 people watching right now.
Yeah, I don't actually know the answer to that.
Maddie, text us. Let us know. We need to know about.
We
all
got
the thousands
4
of
people
out
watching.
there.
Let's go. Oh, DJ Pickle.
From the Orchard at Jigsaw Hill, it's the Orchard Championship Cup!
I love these uniforms.
Yeah, they're pretty intense.
They should make them wear like a Trojan helmet. Can you imagine?
Orchard, are you ready to bring out the Peoria Pythons for Tuesday night pickleball? Well, let's begin with your team captain, number 8, Michael Lloyd.
What?
This is amazing.
Number 27.
Why don't we do this at PPAs?
Oh, more entertainment.
Interesting.
Number 11, Patrick Kafka.
I didn't know he played Padel. I think I played. Maybe we played him one time.
Lauren Mercado.
Yeah, mostly I want to get to know him to see if we can play some padel with him.
Correct.
He needs to get on the padel train. We're just looking for
Let's
good
welcome
players.
to the Orchard, the Peoria Pythons. Are you ready to bring out the undefeated number 1 seed, Gilbert Gladiators? Let's begin with your team captain, number 14, Craig.
Yeah, there's our man right there.
There's a cap. There's a cap. Ooh, nice little baseball swing. We love that.
I could totally see Craig in like a slow pitch softball league and just like dominating, like 16 home runs.
I don't
this
doubt that
season.
he played good baseball. He looks a bit like a baseball player.
He does. He does. What position do you think Craig would play?
I put him at like a scrappy shortstop or second base.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
Could see him as a left fielder, maybe.
I think like scrappy second base or shortstop.
And number 4,
Gonna have to ask him.
Yeah. They praying? Or is this their cheer?
To the pickleball gods.
Let's hear it for the Gilbert Gladiators!
I mean, they are undefeated, so whatever they're doing, they should keep doing it.
I want to see like the tunnel in basketball where everyone's lined up on the sides, like trying to get a high five and stuff.
For the singing of our national anthem.
I feel like we should remove our headsets.
And then I couldn't hear. I'm just gonna go with
Yeah.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Woo! America, baby.
Welcome to Tuesday Night Pickleball at the Orchard. The Arizona Pickleball League uses a game, set, match, scoring format. The first
I don't need to listen
set
to this.
is
I'm not
mixed
sure what
doubles.
the
second
scoring
set is gender doubles.
It's
Each
pretty
set
cool.
consists of 2 games. Each game is first to 11, win by 1. If a set is tied, then a third game, set breaker, will be played. First to 5, win by 1. If each team wins a set, then a singles match breaker will be played. The first team to 15 win by 1 is the winner of the match. Jigsaw Health and Proton Sports are proud to present the Arizona Pickleball League at the Orchard. Enjoy tonight's match.
Are you ready for some championship pickleball?
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Ben and Colin Tuesday Night Pickleball Altcast. This is the Orchard Cup, the Arizona Pickleball League's championship match. I'm Colin Johns alongside my brother Ben. Tonight, the Gilbert Gladiators will face off against the Peoria Pythons, and Ben and I are going to break down the match. Ben, what do you think of this Altcast idea?
It's pretty cool. I was told that it's going to be like Peyton and Eli Manning, which I can't say I've personally watched, but it sounds like a great idea if it's the Manning brothers. I'm excited about this. Tuesday Night Pickleball is very entertaining. I can't say I know all these players, but I like seeing new faces, and I do know a couple of the players, so I'm looking forward to some matchups that we're not used to seeing, and I think it's probably going to be a great match, and looking forward to doing some analysis with you.
Yeah, for sure. This should be a lot of fun. Before that, let's take a look back at the path to the championship for both of these teams.
Ooh, so they routed the Tempe Tornadoes. That's as good as it gets. 2, 5, 6, and 5. That's oof. And Gilbert routed. This is the match I watched. Yeah.
One-way traffic here.
Both these teams are here very decisively, so they're both feeling as high as you can be going into the final, which is sure to be a letdown for one, inevitably, and absolute triumph for the other.
Yeah, and it looks like the Gladiators and the Pythons met during week 5 of the regular season, and the Pythons had a chance to make things interesting if they had won that third game, but the Gladiators took it with a clean sweep. So they are looking like the favorites to me.
Yeah, well, I think they're undefeated. They have 2 really strong mixed doubles teams, really strong men's doubles teams. I don't know either of the women exactly, but they seem to have been doing really well as well. So I mean, as far as the team format goes, it's kind of tough to beat a team that is really strong in every category and not just trying to get their gimmies and losing the other ones. It's like they're kind of contenders on every match.
For sure.
Or even favorites.
Oh, we definitely want to see this go close. Close pickleball is the best to watch, as we all.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting about the format, because it's like it's definitely interesting with the sets in the games, because you get a lot of variety. Like everybody's only up for one game. So it's like mixed doubles, you play 1 game to 11, and then the other mixed doubles 1 game to 11. Then it's like a game to 5. So you got to start strong, basically. But also, even if you do go down, you have a good chance to come back by winning. You can lose the first set 2-0 and then win the next one 2-1. You're back at 50-50, which is definitely interesting.
So what did you say? You tuned in last week. Who did you see play that you liked?
So I watched Gilbert play another team. We just saw them. The Scottsdale Scorchers, I think. It was like Cade and Nemeth was on that team. But yeah, no, Gilbert kind of routed them. I said before the beginning of the event to Patrick and Ashley, I was like, I'm pretty sure that Craig Johnson is the best player in Arizona. Just saying. I think people give him, I don't know his exact age, but I think people underrate him because he looks on the more mature side. He's not like young and flashy, but he gets the job done. He plays solid. He can hit big shots, but he doesn't make bad decisions normally. He can attack off both wings. So I like watching him play. And then his partner's a lefty, which indoors is just really difficult to deal with. It's also difficult to deal with in mix, so it's just a difficult all-around team.
Yeah, for sure. Craig's going to leverage that big drive of his. We call it the 7.0 drive. And then The rest of his game is not quite at that 7-0 mark, but he's definitely he plays the right shot at the right time. He doesn't make a
Backhand
lot
dinks
of,
at least a 6'5" though.
yeah. Yeah, he'll keep it going. Remember that rally that you had with him?
Yeah,
in
over 100
Daytona?
balls.
It was over 100. I think you had him puffing a little bit though. They had to call a timeout at a
It's so
certain point. You turned to me at one point and you said, "This is so fun. Nobody does this with me anymore." Meaning grind with you across court at the backhand dinks. And I was like, whatever keeps you entertained.
Well, I like Craig's attitude about it. He's like, this is what I'm good at. Why would I change it? Like, sure, he's good at it too, but why not? All right, here we go. Point number 1. Come on.
All right, come on. Start off with some momentum. Okay.
See, this is the girl I was talking about, the taller one. She plays really good defense despite being bigger and really uses the reach a lot. Oh, getting flicky with it.
That's nice.
Pedal player.
Should we just call him the Padel player from here on out?
Yeah, his name does not matter. But he's all over the place. Oh,
the Padel player.
He can't.
I don't know if that shot exists in Padel, but it should.
Yeah, he doesn't need a wall behind him. He's just going to get in there. Oh, there's Padel. One-handed off the shoelaces. Yep.
Okay, interesting.
0-1.
Flex.
Yeah, he likes the flick for sure. Unlucky with the net cord. It kind of sat up for the lefty forehand, but I mean, I don't mind it. Especially indoors, it's just so easy to keep the ball low while, maintaining a good attack.
Whenever I see the Orchard, I'm just reminded of when we went there and played the body bag game. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
When we played, and you you hit somebody so hard that he had a welt, and then you signed it after with the Sharpie.
He asked me to.
Yeah, he asked you to. Like, was that Winnie? I don't think you hit Winnie, but
Winnie was on the court, but there's another guy that got hit. Good spin from the Padel player. Made it hard to defend there.
See on the wrong side, could be disastrous.
Yeah, see there, like you need a little higher of a drop for margin in order to make sure you don't miss it in her position. But also, I feel like you need to be getting a heavy cross at least just to keep it away from the guy. And you get more area to hit it in that way. Middle's kind of rough.
Yeah, drops to the middle are generally dangerous because people attack off the bounce off the forehand.
Well, mixed doubles for sure.
Mixed doubles in particular.
But you can see indoors how prevalent the third shot drive is because it's just like sometimes you get errors because you're keeping it low and hard, and at worst usually you're in a drop the fifth position and then you're back at neutral.
Yeah.
Even off the backhand wing we're driving.
Oh,
what
how
a
about
defense!
those
What a defense!
Oh, this is some good D. Oh, the 1E drive, love it.
That one-hander is dangerous from him. He's got slice, he's got drive, he's got flick.
2-2-2.
Caught the tape.
Good middle
That's a good little one-hander from a lefty, which is difficult to deal with in being across from him. It's just an angle you don't often see.
Initiating off the two-hander now.
Yeah, kind of a similar shot.
I actually played Augie and Mix in Vegas, and let's just say there wasn't a lot of dinking. Definitely likes to attack.
Well, mixed doubles as a lefty, that's definitely the attitude you want to have. See
Yeah, you
how
wanna attack.
Ooh, she's long.
Ooh,
And she's earning.
nice
That's
D.
huge.
Ooh, some good D.
Do you
though.
see some of the flicks she had there though? Like there's flicks she's taking where she's at full extension, putting some decent pace on it too. She's dangerous because she's long and has good easy power.
Yeah, but can still dig.
Yeah, no, good defense from a taller player is unusual. Very helpful to have. So here at the Orchard, I believe we don't go to commercial break on timeouts. Timeouts are for watching the teams talk. You know, I think it's funny how spectators will often think that on a timeout, teams or players are talking a ton of strategy, like, and it's just not. It's usually not true. Like there might
It's
be
usually
one
not
or-
true.
It's
Yeah.
usually like maybe one or two things, maybe. Sometimes you go over and they say that and you're like, yeah, I'm not doing that. And
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes nothing is said at all. It's like people, I think, overrate or think too much about strategy often, especially as a spectator. You think more is going on than it is. But oftentimes I feel like if you add too much different stuff while you're trying to compete, like you're just crowding your mind at that point. No matter, even if it's good strategy, sometimes it can be too much and kind of put you off your game to try to enact that mid-match.
Yeah, it's almost more like a basketball timeout where a lot of times they just call it to stop the momentum and they don't really talk a ton of strategy. You don't go home and rethink your life, or you shouldn't when you're calling a timeout.
Yeah.
Most of the time, anyway.
We got a
If they're
challenge.
challenging this?
Yeah, no, that's always good. It looked out. It definitely looked out, but
it definitely looked out.
you might as well, though. I think they have a
Yeah.
good amount of challenges. That is where I'm a little hazy is the specific rules, because I don't know how many challenges they get. Like if it costs them a timeout, is it per like a certain amount of challenges per game, or if it's throughout the entire match or set or whatever. There's also a sub rule in mixed doubles where I think if you're down by 5 or 6 points, you can sub your other team in, which I saw happen last week, which that was kind of an interesting little spin.
That is interesting.
Yeah, it didn't make a difference, but they did it.
So can you put them in for the rest of the match, or just until you get within?
It's the rest of the match. I think it was the rest of the match where I was like, that seems exploitable. Like, what if you have a really strong mixed doubles team and one that's like not good at all, and you're like, well, let's go down 0-6 every time, put in our good team, hope that they can just win the next one, and then they get to play the next one as well. So you almost want to be like, hey, I want to go down by 6 points instead of going close and losing close, right? But it would have to be a very big disparity for that to be a real strategy. It reminds me of a strategy in Mario Kart, actually. It's a funny analogy to make. But
please continue, though.
In certain versions of Mario Kart, you might remember the one we played, and it happens in even current versions of Mario Kart, where it can be advantageous to lag behind in the beginning of the race in order to get better items, and then you can come back much more easily than actually staying ahead the whole time.
I remember I used to do this, and you would get so mad. I would get one of the blue shells that hits the leader, and I'd save it until the last lap and let you get ahead, and then I'd throw it and then get ahead of you. And I think we made a rule.
You get the analogy. I think everyone gets the analogy.
I sure hope so. Anyone who hasn't played Mario Kart and not
you're
thrown
missing
a blue
out.
shell, you're missing out. You want to play that when you get home for Christmas?
For sure.
I think we should play that. We need to introduce our little sister to it.
Anyway, the call stands. The ball was out.
Yeah.
And they go to the switch, and we are now on commercial break.
I thought we didn't go to commercial breaks.
No, you just don't do it on timeouts. You do it on the half game switch and in between games.
We were really invested in whether that call was in or out.
Well, we both knew it was out. I think they challenged the challenge. It was pretty obviously out.
That is true, yeah.
Kind of had it's interesting to look at a padel player because you have tennis background players, you have table tennis background players, but we haven't seen many really good padel players enter pickleball. I played with Simone's brother, who's a professional padel player, and he was very good very quickly. So I'd be interested to see more of those players. They bring different things.
It seems like most of the padel players come from tennis, so they also have that background.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wonder when you cut volleys in padel, are you supposed to how that translates to like volleys in pickle? Because clearly you're not going to do that in pickleball, but the timing is there. You certainly volley, it seems, a fair amount in padel. So there's that.
You volley a ton. Like you're looking at rolls, of course, instead of slices, which is different. But I think having the hands there is really important as opposed to tennis, which is definitely hands, but not as much as padel. So yeah, I'd like to see more and just kind of see what the differences are. Nice little drop there. I like how Augie kind of let the ball drop a lot in order to hit that drop. I feel like a lot of people rush their drops after the first drive, and you might as well give yourself more time. Why not?
Well, fifth shot drive, not paying dividends there.
Not usually the play. Unless it's a big sitter, hitting the fifth shot drive is usually not good because you're usually hitting it upwards more than you are on the initial return. And more up is usually not a good thing.
Yeah, based on where they mostly hit their volley, you're hitting up and you're still in a very vulnerable court position, and they still have reaction time.
Yeah. So this is interesting. It's tough as a girl to play against a lefty guy and a righty girl in mixed because you have the lefty there sitting in the middle. And then you also have the girl. She's threatening Ernie like every other ball. Like it just makes it like, where do I go? It's very tough pressure wise.
Yeah. Do you think the perfect mixed doubles team is a left-handed guy and a right-handed girl?
It has to be. For sure, it has to be.
I would think so. Because imagine if you made yourself left-handed, you play with Anna Lee, who has that nasty two-handed roll across court. I think that
it'd be miserable to play against. Miserable.
You'd be better if you played you and Anna Lee and your righty self. I feel like the lefty Ben and Anna Lee would win.
Agreed. And again, from the Padel player, we see the drive and close finish with the right backhand. Ooh, that's nifty too. Nice. She got it through the lefty forehand too. That was impressive. But yeah, I like the wrist strength on the Padel player where he's kind of closing in and closing it off with the one-handed right backhand.
Nice drop. Oh, they set it up well.
Yeah, it's just good hands, good defense. Nice two-handed dig from Augie. Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised he hasn't done that a little more. Like most of his drives, he's taken down the line, which is normally the right thing to do. But in mixed doubles, when the girl was cross court from you, like I would probably just be driving it at her more often.
Yeah, especially when she's returning. And there you have it again.
Yeah.
Nice little backhand flick there.
Yeah, that was quite nice. And I think you can see they're definitely returning to Augie and saying, you can drive the ball, but we'd rather that than you closing on your partner's drive. With lefties, that's just so annoying. So you'd rather deal with the drive than him coming across.
Yeah, because you are used to seeing drives coming from that direction. What you're not used to most of the time is a lefty forehand coming across to poach.
Right.
And that speed up didn't work out.
Good combination. I think he was on top of that next one. He was almost too early on it.
Yeah. But he got the counter down just enough.
Yeah.
It's a good defensive drive off the back foot.
Yeah.
So hard to drop a ball like that with a deep return. Didn't overhit the drive. Sort of reminiscent of like a Travis Rettenmeyer.
The half speed drive, drop the next one.
Yeah. The rattlesnake. It's pretty consistent with his drives.
Funny nickname.
Yeah.
All right, well, she's coming off the stack here. This could be awkward if she returns to Augie.
Okay, this could be issues.
Good cover.
Nice cover, but couldn't quite follow it up. It's a good take. You probably want to try to squash that inside out just so you can get your hands on the next one more easily. Left in the center is just so tough to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, lefties, again, are just very difficult. And he's closing in with a pretty solid one-handed backhand as well, like on the follow-up after the forehand drive. What's interesting to me here is, like, I'm not going to say Gilbert is, like, I mean, I think they're favored to win. I think nobody would question that. And I'm not even going to call them huge favorites. But at the same time, I'm kind of interested how they got such a strong team. Like, it almost seems borderline unbalanced when compared to, you know, the 4 and 5 team in the league. Maybe people didn't know how good Augie was, or maybe one of the women went really low. But clearly, I mean, I think they have debatably the number 1 and the number 2 guy in Arizona. And the girls, I mean, seem along those lines as well.
Yeah, they must have drafted on upside, where at least one of their players was probably not initially quite so good, or at least not
Maybe not
expected to be
quite
so
well
good.
known. Yeah.
Yeah, not well known. So they probably drafted on potential. So does total points matter in this, or not really?
No. At least it doesn't now. Maybe it did if there was a tiebreaker to get into the playoffs. That'd be a kind of a fringe case, though.
Yeah,
but certainly not now.
Good hands. Wow. Oh,
Oh, what a point! What a point!
Total chaos.
Yeah. Well, one, I love the moves. Like he's just following in his offensive shot and following it across, which is huge. Some people make a mistake of not following their aggressive shot. And secondly, amazing defense from Gilbert. So it's Craig, Augie, Ariel, and it is Ashley over there, right?
Is it Lauren or Ashley? I'm
pretty sure it was Ashley.
Okay. I could be mixing them up, so we apologize.
Forgive me, I don't know the players yet.
We'll get there. The Lunny backhand return, reminiscent of Joey Farias. Also a Jigsaw Health sponsored player.
Game. Yeah, well, I'd say that was kind of the expected result.
So Gilbert up with the 1-0 lead. I guess they get a 4-minute warm-up based on what we're seeing below. Michael Lloyd with the bling.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, I think he's their number 1 guy. So I think they definitely are hoping that he's going to overpower in this next match.
Yeah, he's definitely got to play aggressive.
You're going to see a lot of big drives from both him and Craig, unless they just keep it on the girls entirely.
It's going to be a drive fest for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, Ashley was on Gilbert, and Lauren, like you said, is on the other team.
Gotcha.
So I was just talking about Ashley being longer and playing good defense, like in that one rally when Patrick followed up his big drive and was playing good offense. She dug out that last ball as well, which, again, pretty impressed with the digging ability there. Certainly better than what I do.
You wouldn't get to that point.
Yeah, you know what I say. My theory is if you have to play defense, you're just not playing enough offense.
Yeah. I mean, any shot can be a winner, according to AJ Kohler. You just didn't hit it well enough, and it wasn't.
That's right. That's right. And I do maintain that my defensive game for many years now has not been as good because I was in defensive positions less often than my opponents.
It's probably true. Although it would be nice to have sometimes, and we've worked on it. You know, I think you play sneaky good defense. Sneaky good.
Yeah. You know, it's a work in progress. It's a different kind of defense. I just stay in there. I'm like, all right, hit it at me. I'll hit a volley. I'm not scrapping back at the baseline. Forget that. I'm gonna hit a volley in midcourt, and I'm not gonna block it in midcourt. I'm just gonna hit a drive volley back at you.
I mean, you move back with me sometimes.
Occasionally. Warily, slowly.
There are times in transition where I run in front of you in midcourt because I know you're gonna miss the block, so that I can get you into your happy place. You're pretty good from your happy place, though.
Ooh, they got a Fat Tire sponsorship. That's fun.
It's a Fat Tire.
It's a type of beer. I don't really know much about beer, but I know it's a bigger name in beer, so that's a good sponsor to have.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, if you're just tuning in, this is Tuesday Night Pickleball. So the league has 5 teams. 4 teams went to the playoffs. This is the finals. So these teams both moved on from their semis win. And I talked to Patrick Sullivan about this, and it was kind of interesting because he's like, there is definitely a compelling storyline, not just about like the teams that make it in the playoffs, but because it's 4 out of 5, it's more like what team really doesn't want to be the one that doesn't make it, right? It's like it's
Yeah.
real bad if you don't make the playoffs. It's like that means you're dead last, which is really tough.
That's tough. Yeah, that's Max Payne.
Yeah, that is Max Payne.
We were so bad we did not even make the playoffs, and I don't know which team that was in this case, but we're gonna spare them being mentioned.
Yeah.
They need to go
Okay,
home.
get them next time. Have another whack at it next season.
Yeah. Who's getting a 1-month membership?
You know. Also, I'm told that at the close of tonight's broadcast, there's going to be a special teaser of Jigsaw's forthcoming documentary called "Breaking Pickleball," which I got to see a preview of it, and I must say it was pretty engaging. It definitely got me interested in everything that's going on with Tuesday Night Pickleball in their trailer.
Is it like a playoff of Breaking Bad?
Their sizzle reel. That's a different part of Arizona. I think that's New Mexico, actually.
Okay, I've never watched Breaking Bad. I was just curious. I knew it was somewhere down there.
It's a good show. I forget what part of New Mexico it is, but yeah, I'm pretty sure wherever they filmed it was actually true meth haven. So yeah, we actually got to play Tuesday Night Pickleball. I think it was the second event they ever did. So pretty fun event. I got to play with Tyler Loon. You got to play with AJ Kohler. We've done pretty well with AJ in the past.
Yeah, we did not win that night. Although I did win the last singles point that we played. Just the last.
You did. That's the only thing that matters. It's anything that people remember. It's that.
Yes, of course.
Ooh, heavy cross drop. Oh, Craig is all over the place. And he's firing. You know what I got to say about Craig? You may say he's older, and I apologize to Craig if he is not as old as I think he is. Like, I'd put him at like mid-30s, honestly.
Maybe 36. I feel like that would be a good guess.
Yeah, but he moves as actively. Whether it's as quickly, I honestly couldn't even tell you. But he goes out of his way in mixed doubles and a little bit in men's doubles to just take over court and just be in positions that make your opponents awkward, which I think is huge. Like, even if you're not quick and fast, you can still move a lot. Like, don't sell yourself short. Moving a lot helps a ton.
Is that what I've been missing in mixed doubles?
Yes.
I just get lazy. I get lazy from playing with you and covering my little tiny area. And then I realize that I can't do that next. And it's sad.
We'll see. I think Craig caused 2 of those 3 points to end in errors just because he was moving when they were trying to hit the ball. Like, making the area smaller that your opponents are hitting the ball in is always going to be difficult. Always reduce the area that your opponents can hit in safely.
I agree with that, in theory.
All right. I expect a huge serve from Michael Lloyd. He's usually huge.
Okay.
Oh, what?
No.
What? He's softballing it now?
He's slicing it?
All right. He made up for it with a huge drive. His drive is like a windmill.
Drive.
Like, it just goes all the way over the shoulder and head and all the way down the throw.
It is a very, very large backswing. It is not what we call a textbook mechanic when it comes to pickleball.
No. Yeah, Rachel's an interesting player because I wouldn't say she plays with a lot of margin, but and that's true with a lot of her shots. But when they are on, it's very difficult because most of them are really low to the net.
Yeah, definitely not a margin player, but she can get it going at times for sure.
And plays very sharply cross court, which is good in mix when she's making it because it keeps it away from the guy pretty efficiently.
Like on that one down the line from fire fake. Wow.
Yeah. And you got to do that to Craig a little bit. Like, a lot of people, I think, over talk about keeping the guy on his line. Like, a lot of the time he's just baiting you to go there. But with how much Craig is moving over, you have to put it there a little bit.
It's a nice drive. Not as nice of a drop.
Good counter.
Good counter, but I also feel like you need to hit that reset, that 5th shot drop a little bit more linear and a little deeper to give yourself more margin.
Yeah. I'm just waiting to see the Retger special which is just attacking the forehand off the bounce right through the middle or at the guy's right hip. That's like her best shot by far. It's off the bounce, forehand, outside of the ball, hard to read, keeps it low.
Is your screen frozen too, or is it live for you?
My screen is in fact frozen.
Mine is as well. I have a close-up of Ariel and Craig in the background. So we get back
I wonder if
live.
number 14 was his baseball number.
We should ask him. I'm convinced that he played baseball. If we don't know that for a fact already.
It just feels like he did.
Yeah, he probably tears it up in some slow pitch softball league on the weekends.
Yeah, Arizona's a big baseball state.
Yeah, that is true.
Well, I'm not sure if this is part of the YouTube that we're doing freezing, or if this is Tuesday Night Pickleball that's freezing. I'm going to check. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go to YouTube and look up Tuesday Night Pickleball and see if they are live. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay, they are live right now. And it looks like they are, in fact, ahead of us. Yep, they are not frozen.
Okay, so I guess it's on our end. We will be back online shortly.
Good news is they're changing ends right now, so we're not missing too much of the action.
Okay.
We missed 1 or 2 points. And it is not looking good for the Pythons. They're down 6-1.
Dear me.
So they're going to be losing their mixed doubles set shortly, most likely. But, you know, like I said,
gender doubles.
Craig is being Craig. He's just taking it to him. He's moving a lot. He's hitting huge drives. You know, this is a great opportunity to riff without the points playing.
All right.
I mean, Craig, it might be built for indoor play. He just hits a huge drive on the first one, makes his 5th shot drop. Oh, are we back?
We're back.
Let's go. Come on.
Now it's 7-1.
Yeah, all right.
And
I think Rachel missed 2 returns, and there's a paddle toss. That's not a good thing.
Not a good sign. And that's that low margin we were talking about. And we have more low margin.
3 returns.
That's tough. In a game to 11, you do not want to miss 3 returns.
That's the quickest way to lose a match. But hey, maybe it's huge serving by Ariel. There's just a lot of names I hope I'm not pronouncing wrong. Ariel.
Is it like the Disney princess? Ariel?
I don't think so. I think that's Ariel. She's got another L and an E at the end.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, Craig calls a stay.
Well, at this point, you gotta play aggressive and hope to get a bunch of free easy points in a row to even get yourself back into the match.
Definitely not easing off the drives here.
Yeah.
And what do you think of Rachel's court position on that when he's driving? Do you think she'd be better off shaking and baking there, staying all the way back, and dropping the 5th, or going in a little ways? What do you think?
I would be probably doing the same thing as she is, staying that far back, because I think the drive is a little here and there at the moment in terms of where it's going, kind of unpredictable. So yeah, I'd just be looking to make the drop on the next one, honestly, but definitely have not seen high quality stuff from Rachel thus far. She's going to need to pick it up because she's just not making enough balls. Like, you got to make them play.
Yeah, when your partner's driving, it's actually one of those times where you can stay back and just sort of wait for the volley and then drop it, or you can go complete opposite end of the spectrum and shake and bake. A lot of people get in trouble when they go in like halfway because they're not super confident with the half volley you would need on that particular shot. If you are, it's a fine thing to do, but it's one of those cases where if you know your partner's going to drive, then you can stay back or go all the way up.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because usually when somebody hits a drop, you are in that in-between zone where you're kind of edging up with them and with the drop. And then when it drives, you want to be not that, but one or the other, back or more up. So yeah, it's an interesting dichotomy.
Yeah. because most of the volleys off of drives land somewhere in the midcourt. So you feel good about half volleying that.
Oh, there's the Recker special. I called it. See, there it is. There it is.
There it is.
Did I call it? Did I call it? You just gotta. I mean,
That was
it's your
good
bread and
timing.
butter. I don't care if people are expecting it. You got to do it anyway.
Who was really good at that? Well, an
Steve
OG
Deacon was
player.
always good at it.
That's who I was going to bring up.
Matt Wright is also really good at it.
Yes, we've seen that one from Matty Dub a few times. Remember Eden Lika? Eden Lika, there's a throwback for you. He would hit that shot
one a
pretty
lot.
well. Despite being the biggest guy we know in pickleball, he actually had good touch, and he had a pretty good feel on that shot.
He very much did. Definitely good feel. See how far over Craig is? Like, he's
good
taking that
movement.
ball from right of center of the right side, I would say. And a lot of players would just let that slide and let their opponents get to neutral. And he's like, nah, if you're going to drop it over there, I'm going to go get it. And there's like a forced error. He's moving in. He's threatening how much he's coming over. Like, the amount of errors Craig gets just by moving to his right very aggressively can't be overstated.
No doubt he caused that error there. You know he's going to drive that one all day.
7-0.
Just not enough consistency from Rachel.
Yeah.
Too many missed returns. And
Yeah, I mean,
11-6,
I think it was
11-4 in the mixed.
3 returns, I think. That's tough. Anyway, I am not positive when the halftime show starts. It could be now because it's over, set 1 is over. But I have been told that the halftime show is going to be pretty entertaining. So I'm looking forward to that, even though I don't know what's coming.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, mixed doubles, sometimes you got to play aggressive, but I love playing aggressive, but at some point you got to make enough balls to even test whether your opponents are playing well. I think Craig obviously came out of the gates firing and got a lot of free points, but I felt like Ariel didn't get nearly enough balls to even test whether she was going to apply any pressure. They missed at least 3 returns. They didn't get in very often. Like, if you're not getting to the net, you're just not even giving yourself a chance. And at the same time, you're handing your opponents points to get the lead with the returns. Like, there's not a lot you're going to be able to do if you're missing thirds, fifths, and returns.
Yeah, execution above all. You got to execute on those. If you're missing the basic first 3 shots or so of the rally, you're not really giving yourself much of a chance.
I mean, I don't care how good your kitchen game is. You could have the best. You could be #1 in the world at the kitchen, and with the other stuff that was going on in that match, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, I sort of think of it as like phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 is before you establish, and then the second phase is when everyone's established. So if you never get to the second phase, you're just not giving yourself enough bites of the apple.
No problem.
Check out this commercial. Did you see this commercial? It was the longest commercial I ever shot with them. I shot for an entire day for this one commercial.
Starring Ben with a mustache.
Yeah, just watch and appreciate. Because my acting. Oh, I should have gone to acting school. Theater school. Like, acting just looks easy when you watch it in movies with, you know, the great actors. Then you do it and you're like, oh my gosh, why is this so hard to just act normal?
Took you long enough.
Also, how difficult production is. Like, everything they're doing to even make this commercial look as good as it does. It's so much more work than people know. Like, production's so hard.
Orange. Repeat code orange.
I'm sure it is. There's a reason why it costs so much money to make movies.
Mm-hmm.
I just finished Matthew McConaughey's Green Lights on
Security
audio.
footage has the perps entering at
It's pretty awesome.
$0900.
It's
And it does-
really,
and it does
really
talk-
funny.
It's very funny, and he does
Oh,
talk
Mexico.
about all the production
So,
and stuff a little
They're
bit.
still in here.
Yeah.
That'd be my guess.
It's just a long from this.
Split up and cover more ground. Don't worry, Johns. I got your 6.
I've never watched the Peyton and Eli thing, like I said, and I don't even know that much about football. But because I don't know much about football,
Sorry,
I'd actually like to know what they're
left
saying
my
about
ring
a
on.
football game, like, during it.
Go check out the North Quadrant.
Well, you got to check that out so that we can do this a little bit better next time.
Yeah, they seem pretty funny together. The amount of elements they like mixed for this commercial is just funny. They have like a Western shootout theme. They have a bit of a horror thriller sense to it. It's crime as well. Like I'm a detective, but it's also a Western. Like there's just so many mixed thematic elements.
It's like the Pink Panther a little bit.
Yeah. And the wiffle ball rolling across is like a tumbleweed. Like this is the Wild West part, right? The shootout at the OK Corral.
No one has to dig
But
your
I'm a
head,
New York
Johns.
detective, kind of. It's just funny. Even how the coat flies is just so funny. It's just so much, but yet it's so good still.
OSG.
It's okay, Johns.
That was one heck of an Ernie.
I think you need Bert.
It's so good.
I gotta be honest, it's not looking good. You guys really did all of this?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Think you can get us out of these?
Bring me the jigsaw.
Just mixing more thematic elements.
Getting Matty right in there. When are we gonna do the the Matt Wright school for awkward pickleball?
Oh,
when are we gonna film?
Yeah,
Anyone who's seen the Dirk Awkward Pickleball Academy from the ESPYs, we want to do the same thing for Matt Wright. So I really think that needs to happen at a certain point. So he's pulling out a proton paddle now. I don't know if that's going to block body shots quite as well as that Yola paddle.
Where is this halftime show that I was promised?
I guess it's not halftime.
Well, it better be soon, because theoretically you could only have 2 more games left. I told them after last event, based on kind of how packed it was, the amount of chairs they have in there, I was like, you're going to need to get a double decker in there somehow so you can fit more people. Like some kind of platform. So you can sit under the cabana and on top of the cabana. All right. Well, I'd say in this one, Lauren's probably going to play a steady role. Rachel is going to be more aggressive and hopefully making more balls in the mixed doubles match. And I would say I'm going to predict that Ashley takes over. She's going to be too big.
So I have news for you. The commercial that we just saw was the halftime show.
Oh my gosh. That's not as good of a halftime show as I was expecting then.
Well, maybe not for you. You actually shot the commercial. There are people out there that are still keeled over laughing.
I don't know.
What about a Rube Goldberg machine that sells electrolytes for us?
101.
Ooh, runs all the way around that backhand to get the forehand drop in there. Interesting. Lauren using the two-handed dink to her advantage there. I like it.
102.
Apparently not.
It's good pressure at the kitchen, but definitely not great drops. It's not going to
Yeah,
get it done.
it's interesting just because the difference between how girls and guys reach in, your drops for mixed doubles have to change slightly. Because if you're dropping to girls, it's actually a little smarter to go lower and further, whereas guys a little smarter to go a little higher and shorter. Like you can get it shorter by hitting it higher, right? Because girls generally tee off more off the bounce than they do out of the air because reduced reach and great ground strokes. And I mean, that's marginal, right? It's not a huge difference, but I'd say it's non-negligible.
Yeah, you definitely have to think about rolling more drops a little bit deeper when you're playing girls in mixed or girls playing girls, rather than that sort of old school higher drop that lands short in the kitchen. A lot of times they just step back and attack that off the bounce, so not always as effective as you would like.
So it looks like we got a challenge on that backline call. I'd say it did look out, or not backline, sideline.
Sideline? Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can
I'd
see
say-
space, right?
I don't know, closer than I thought. Then I'd say
It
it's
was-
still out.
Yeah, it's close, but I think out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say from that angle it looks out.
Barely. Definitely closer than we thought.
Yeah.
What is it that they throw on the court to challenge? Like
It's a rubber chicken.
It's a rubber chicken?
Yeah, it's I love it just because it's so unique. It's like, oh,
Can we have
You
that?
gotta laugh every time.
Can we have that for our back pocket? Like a PPA, sort of like a challenge flag.
Well, you need to have a coach in the sideline so that you're not holding it. But yeah,
That'd be
funny.
so good if we could like throw a chicken at the ref. Challenge.
Yeah, it's funny how they probably, I assume they got some kind of sponsorship from Chicken and Pickle just for the chicken challenge.
I hope so. I need to get one of those chickens. We challenge chickens.
The call is overruled. The ball was in. The
Interesting.
won. The score is 1-2.
Oh, I guess
That was
that's
the
what we
only
did.
angle they had. I don't know. It seems like a dicey overrule. It's 50-50 at best, which I'd put it more at 70 out, 30 in.
Or we can just consider it to be a good challenge.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I don't know what their policy is there, but if they do it kind of more like MLP, which is liberal with their overrules, and they're just like, if there's kind of enough doubt, then we just call it in. And then PPA is a little more stringent on like, they're not going to overrule something if they're not sure.
Yeah.
I guess you could say it also does make it a little more exciting if you're more liberal with the overrules. So if you're looking for that element, then you might just operate more like that.
Oh, we'll see if it has an effect here.
The Pythons are kind of an interesting women's team because I wouldn't say either of those players is particularly aggressive. Like normally left side's playing a little more of an aggressive role, but I wouldn't say that's necessarily true with Lauren.
Yeah.
But I would say on the reverse side of that, the Gladiators have two semi-aggressive women. I'd say Ashley's definitely aggressive and Ariel is mildly aggressive.
Yeah. It's a nice roll drop. Wow. That's that drop we were talking about where if you can get it down to their feet, they might be able to volley it, but they can't really do that much with it, especially when you're having to follow in your return, get established, and reach forward with balance. It's very hard to generate offense from that position.
Yeah. Focusing more on low than depth.
Yeah, like that drop's perfect.
Yeah.
So the one before was the roll. That was more of the shovel, but both were very effective. Definitely
Well,
set the
again,
table.
Gladiators kind of one-way traffic here. like I said, like honestly, all 4 of their players, there's no weak link. They seem like they got some of the strongest players in the league all on the same team, which is pretty rough to deal with.
So did you say that they can substitute? It's if they go down by 6, that they have a rule where they can substitute?
Well, that's only in mixed doubles because then you have a sub. It's not like you can sub to play the guys against the girls.
That would be so interesting, though. If you could do it in gender, can you imagine?
Geez,
If the guys go down 6-0, ladies, you're in.
It would make it exciting. And what if you added a little extra spice? Like, say the guys go down 6-0 and the girls come in, you get an immediate like plus 3-point addition or something. Like, all right, we'll bring you back to 6-3, but now you got to play from 3-6 against the guys.
Yeah, and you can.
That's probably getting too spicy, too fancy, but it sounds like a fun idea.
And you can bring in Annalie Waters once a season.
Special sub.
A sub of your choice that happens to be within 10 miles of the facility. You just have Annalie waiting outside.
I guess. Nice little combo from Lauren, rolling the two-hander high to the backhand and then finishing with the forehand.
Let's get rid of the goose egg. There you go. And they're choosing the stack. Rachel on the right. Why do you think she is playing the right? Just because it sets up her best shot through the middle?
There's that. Yeah, I've never really seen her play much but the right. So I'd say it's less of a Lauren needing to be on the left and more of a Rachel being comfortable on the right.
Yeah.
From the look of it, I'd say Lauren plays both sides approximately equivalently. And I'd say Rachel just is used to the right, even though she's a generally somewhat aggressive player, at least with the forehand off the bounce. Probably not an overall aggressive player. So just comfortable on the right.
Yeah.
So again, defensively like that, I would say less important to be high and like a good drop. Now you could almost do it a Rafa Hewitt-esque like mid drive. You could just keep it kind of low.
Yeah, or even more like a Zane Navratil roll drop where it's quite aggressive, but when it goes in, it does a lot of damage. And then, like we said, the girls sometimes struggle to attack those sort of balls out of the air, or at least effectively.
Yeah, I'm on
Like
the low and far train.
Yeah, unless you're playing AJ Kohler, and then probably not a good idea. Those flicks. He had some nasty ones when we played in the Orchard last time.
He always does. Looks like Rachel missed that kind of mid-range area where it's like shoulder high and you want to hit an overhead, but the overhead tends to go down to the net. So you're like, you kind of want to use the swinging volley, but it's almost high enough to hit the overhead.
Yeah.
But again,
the side switch.
Quite a few errors. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah, this is turning into a bit of a blowout. Just too many errors from the one side, and particularly in the transition game, if you're not going to get in enough, it's just so hard to win.
Yeah. I mean, the good news is, even though it looks like a blowout right now, there are somewhat easy comebacks because theoretically you can go 3-3 in games kind of and still win the overall match, because you could say lose this one, win the men's, and then you get a breaker for that set on the gender. And if you win that, you get to go to the singles. And then if you win the singles, basically you've won 3 games each, but you've won the match because you won the singles and you won your set of gender 2-1. So like comebacks are not they're feasible. Like they can definitely happen.
Yeah, and it's nice because you actually go to the singles a lot more than if you didn't have that rule. So I think that's cool.
Yeah, but again, Augie and Craig standing in the way. If they convert the women's doubles, that's a heck of a team to have to upset and then win 2 more difficult ones. But I mean, you also got to think that they're playing with nothing to lose at that point. They play really well.
Yeah, that's certainly possible. It's a nice roll.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I feel
if I were,
they could work that pattern.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
If they got to the line more, it's just
absolutely.
if I were coaching them right now, it's like we got to make more drops. So try to hit them lower and further. If you guys are getting forward, I think that pattern works for you because the roll
They just haven't
cross-court has
gotten
been
in nearly
effective.
enough. They haven't even found
Yeah.
out like what's their good pattern at the kitchen. But just looking at it, I would say the 2 from Lauren into the 1 on Ashley is probably Ashley's biggest weakness because Ashley plays a great forehand out of the air game. She's long there, but her backhand attack out of the air is not nearly as good. And her dink there is, I wouldn't say weak, but it's certainly not quite as good as, I mean, it's better to go there than her just attacking forehands the whole time.
Yeah, I agree.
That's
If you can get that, yeah.
And look how much she runs around it, which can create stuff, but it can also cause some errors.
Yeah.
But they absolutely need to get in more. And I would definitely be dropping more to Ariel, I think, just because the length is considerably less. Ashley keeps them back very well.
Yeah, especially when she's returning, like on this point.
Yeah, I mean, the problem, though, is even with Ariel being shorter and not as long, she has a nice forehand out of the air. She hits it on that flat plane with some top spin. It's hard to get in on as well.
Yeah, you just really need more quality drops if you're the Pythons.
Got a timeout. Yeah, I mean, instead of this going better for the Pythons over time, it's been going worse. 11-6, 11-4, and now it's 7-2. Like, eesh. Worse and worse.
I need some Christmas cookies. Christmas cheer. Possibly some energy.
That's a question for the viewers. What is your favorite Christmas cookie?
I can say what mine is. Definitely the homemade Buckeyes.
I know what yours are.
The homemade Buckeyes that are upstairs right now that I plan on eating very soon.
They're already there? I'm so jealous.
They're being made right now in the family kitchen.
fresh.
So you chose to fly in on the 24th, and you're probably going to miss out on the majority of the Buckeyes. So
it's unbelievable. I'm going to make my own Buckeyes. So because I live at an apartment now, I have a concierge, and last year I gave them cookies, and they were a fan. So like, well, now I got to make cookies every year. Now they need their cookies.
You've locked yourself in. Like
I've
there's
locked
no turning
myself
back
in.
now.
Correct. They expect the cookies.
Basically, you're the Grinch if you don't get them cookies every year until you move out. You may have to move apartment buildings for that very reason. If you're tired of baking cookies every single Christmas, it's the only solution.
Interesting attack from Ariel. Probably the right choice, but mechanically, I'd say the one-hander was a little bit of a loose wrist, which can be an issue.
Sneaky good defense. You're right, for sure. Ashley plays some sneaky good defense.
They're not like perfect resets, but she just gets them all back and keeps her team in the point.
I mean, if you put solid paddle on the ball, good things tend to happen.
Over the net is strong. It's really
Over
strong.
the net is strong, as Rob Cassidy would say.
Correct.
What's a great line? I've used that in so many clinics.
Over the net is really strong.
Like when somebody misses a serve by country mile, over the net is strong.
Nice plays from Ashley. Not overhitting, but certainly applying a lot of pressure.
Right on the baseline, looked like. Right.
They didn't show up, but it definitely looked in. Calls are really not going their ways either. It's like every ball that's been close to the line has been in for the Gladiators, and pretty much all the Python ones have been out.
Yeah. There's that third shot, fifth shot drop. That third shot drop, fifth shot drop, but
again, just sneaky drops.
It doesn't have to be really good. Like that's a great example there. A deeper roll drop. They didn't end up winning the point, but that's
they got themselves to neutral. You got to give yourself opportunities to get points.
Exactly. That's really what the Pythons need more of. That's a nice full swing
100%.
counter, but got a little big with the swing on the second one.
Costco size swing.
Are you more of a Costco or Sam's Club kind of guy?
Costco for sure. Ooh,
I would
it's a lot of power.
tend to agree. Wow, that is interesting shot selection, shall we say. She was
You
fully
know, at
committed,
this point,
taking a full swing.
Ashley can't do any wrong. In my book, Ashley's playing perfectly. I trust her decisions at this moment.
I have to disagree on that one.
Eli and Peyton didn't agree. See, look, she's too good. She's OP. Come on, she's just finishing balls. Just no problem.
Slightly different situation.
I mean, I trust Ashley.
Potato.
You know, if that ball had gone in, her big backhand drive, it would have looked like a genius play. Ooh, double net cord. The cross court drive and then the finish? Come on. See, you would say normally cross court drive, no good. But when Ashley does it, doesn't matter. I mean, with Ashley and Craig on this team, I'm just like, oh, too good.
Got the security guard doing what here? Oh, taking a drink of somebody's beer. Is that what I'm seeing?
It looked like it.
I think he's just playing defense for the Pythons at this point.
they needed a mini timeout from him.
Yeah, a little mini timeout from the security guard. That's when you know it's bad. Nice take. Nice.
See, it's just
the
D is good.
You keep it away from her. What are you doing? Try somebody else. She's a wall. She's just a wall.
See, you're high on the Ashley train now too. But tell me that I've got you on board the Ashley train.
I'm a believer on the defense. Defense full swing, probably not so much on that train.
Ooh, yeah, that was in. That was definitely in. Again, they hit a line.
What we call excellent placement on the serve. Nice drop. The pattern I would have liked to see more for the Pythons, just to see what would happen.
Yeah, I feel like right now Ashley's dominating with the forehand mostly. Like you need to get it over to that backhand and see what happens.
Ooh, we going lob? Little bailout lob?
Yeah, I don't trust that decision. You know, I've been all aboard the train until the backhand lob because unless
two-handed,
nobody does it.
No, that was a two-handed backhand lob, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I don't know if I've seen that, especially out of the air.
It looked like a step early on that return, too close to the ball, trying to hit it on the rise, causes a missed time and a missed return.
How tight is the backdrop there? I can't remember.
I want to say it's not amazing. Probably 8 feet, 7 feet.
Yeah,
7 to 8.
It felt
a little more than a kitchen. A little more than a kitchen. I felt like 8, and it felt tight on big serves.
Yeah, I think so. A good combination there. Well, the Pythons after that one ball sat up, back in through the middle, and then follow up. There's the drop we've been calling for this whole time. Now you have a chance. Come on.
And Lauren taking the middle ball to the back end is exactly what they need to do.
Let's see. I feel like if they could just get in a little bit more, this match could get very interesting.
For sure. Like, I kind of view it as you don't even find out if you can beat them if you're not getting to the line, which may seem like an oxymoron almost, but it's almost two different types of game. Like the game you're playing at the kitchen line, the game you're playing to get to the kitchen are different to me. And once you're at the kitchen, you might be the favorite team. But if you don't get there enough, you're not going to find out that you are. So you may think you lost to a team when in reality you were winning 60% of the points at the line, but you were getting in only 60% of the time while the other team was getting in 90. And just because of that, you're going to lose.
Yeah. Phase 1 and phase 2. If you don't execute in phase 1, you don't get to play phase 2. And it's just the more bites of the apple you get, the more likely you're going to score points. And it's just the returners have such a big advantage that if you don't find a way to kind of slow down the offense that they can apply to you, it's really hard to win.
Yeah, got to mitigate that. Well, I'm hoping for something interesting here.
Little side switch over there.
Yeah, I don't think they wanted to deal with the side switch in the stack.
Yeah.
Staying again.
Good
nice.
game.
That's a good reset.
Oh, I like this pattern for them. Yeah. Tightening up here.
they're finding out at the line they're not unfavored necessarily. They're just not
No,
getting there.
I feel like it's at least been 50-50 at the line.
Yeah.
If not in their favor a bit. A little freebie. And now you have some scoreboard pressure, and that really starts to make things a lot closer. They can't play quite as free over there. Nice drop.
Yeah, I didn't honestly really love the side stay. Like, they're just clearly much better the other way around. Like, if they drive on your stack, so be it. Get to your good sides. It's more important at this moment.
Yeah, you can see there the benefit of having her forehand in the middle where she reaches in well with that shot.
Yeah, probably her best attribute, really. Nice drop.
Good shot. It's been the pattern that's worked for them across court up there.
Yeah, but they
don't want to feed the forehand.
She reaches in too well and just creates offense. Like, I'd rather it's a little deeper and higher to her backhand than neutral-ish to her forehand. She hasn't shown attacks out of the air with the backhand yet.
And there it is. Well, that's a very deep hole to come back from. But they had made a little run at the end.
Yeah. Not necessarily carrying that momentum into the guys' match, but we'll see if they can take away some positivity from it.
The guys' match is up next. So if the Pythons win, you go to singles?
No. So if the Pythons win this next one, they go to the set breaker, meaning they're going to play gender doubles to 5. I forget the specifics of whether it's men, women, or how they rotate, but they basically play a breaker for the set. And then if the Pythons were to win that breaker as well, then you go to the match breaker, which is singles. So it's game, set breaker, match breaker.
I see.
And of course, if the Gladiators win, it's just all over. Yeah, I wish we could have seen comments while we were doing this. Either they weren't enabled or we're just not seeing them. So, if we do this again ever, even though, I don't know, we're usually playing.
Yeah, we're quitting our day jobs. We're going to just take on the commentary role.
Right.
We haven't come up with a name yet, so drop that in the comments. See if we have a future in this.
Yeah, if there are comments.
If there are comments, well, I don't know. We could have 2 viewers. I can't see the viewer count. We might just be talking back and forth to each other.
It's always enjoyable.
It's the off season. We're just humoring ourselves right now.
Love the sound of our own voices.
Like, what's the quote? Monsters Inc. Just follow the soothing sound of my voice or something.
Is that Monsters Inc.?
I'm pretty sure it's Monsters Inc.
Are you sure? I can't remember where that was from. Like,
it was Mike Wazowski.
Follow the smooth, sultry sounds of my voice.
I'm pretty sure.
I can hear it in my head, but I don't remember if it was Mike.
If we have any viewers and you know the answer, help us.
At what part?
I think he's guiding Sully somewhere.
Oh yeah, Sully has like a blindfold on, right? Oh yeah. It's when he recreates the door, right? And he's
that's
following.
That's right. Yes, we figured it out.
Nice.
This is what happens. This is what happens when we hang out. We just quote obscure movie references and.
I wouldn't call Monsters Inc. obscure. Maybe that was a hard one within the movie, but Monsters Inc. is a fan favorite.
I guess
cult
this was
favorite.
this was less obscure than we normally do. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
See, that's what we need to teach Maddie. 1, how to turn on the comments. Maddie, you failed. And 2, how to get our movie references. It's just it's a prerequisite to being Team Johns.
To watch so many movies.
So many
catch up at all. It's just kind of pointless. But the comments we can definitely fix.
Yeah.
So if we ever do this again, we're gonna have comments.
Yeah. Everyone is a part of the team. Like Noah, I feel like he would get that reference. Pickleball Doctor?
Probably.
I'm sure he would. I mean, he's got small kids. I'm sure he's watched Monsters Inc. recently.
He might be more on the Frozen train than the Monsters Inc.
Oh, yeah, that's
Inc.
true.
Was an older classic.
Yeah. It's just a classic.
All right.
You have to.
So, back to pickleball. Patrick, I like his game. I think he can hang with these two. Michael, absolutely with the aggression, just purely with aggression, can hang with almost anybody if he's playing well. But again, I think he needs to make more balls, get their team into the line, and do something from there. Craig and Augie are going to do what they do. I don't think they need to change much. They're going to play their games, and I think their games are really solid, and they're favored. If all four players play average, they'll win.
Who do you think they should return to? If you're Craig and Augie, who would you return to? Would you rather take your chances with the Michael Lloyd drive? Because I don't love that pattern for them personally. I think that his drive could get hot, and you have the athleticism of Patrick to where he could maybe come across, whether it's the forehand or the backhand. I'd rather put the returns on Patrick.
I would test Michael first to see what he's doing, because he didn't show that he was getting them in the mixed doubles. So see what he does first. If he is kind of hot with the drives and getting them in, and you're having Patrick close, then go to Patrick. But test Michael first.
Sort of like what we do with Pat Smith whenever we play him.
Correct. Test him. Let him miss a little bit. Once he gets hot, get it away from him.
Yeah.
But, he beat us.
He's all too familiar with that. He's like, you never give me any returns after my drive gets hot. And I'm like, well, that is true. Because we're not dumb. But
yeah, and then with Craig and Augie, obviously lefty-right, it's going to be tough returning to either one of them. I think it's more important that you get your returns deep and make them, which is obviously easier said than done. Ugh, big lefty. It's tough. Yeah, you need deep returns.
Yeah, give it a little height, maybe go middle, see if you can get them to miscommunicate a little bit, cut down the angles. I wouldn't mind that, but that's gets to them a little fast for my liking there. It's good counters.
Nice. Yeah, good D. What I wouldn't mind actually with them is go to Augie's backhand and see if he's driving that, because he seems to like it enough to take the backhand drive, but it's not nearly as good as his forehand drive because it doesn't dip nearly as much. So almost like let him hit the shot he's comfortable with, even though it's like not as good as his forehand.
Yeah, bait him to take the backhand drive a little bit, see if you can punish that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, with Craig's big drive and then a lefty coming across, I would tend to avoid that pattern a little bit more. I would target Augie's side of the court and let Craig take his chances coming across.
What I didn't like about Michael's drops were just he was slicing them so much, he's giving too much topspin to Craig with the spin continuation.
Yeah. These days, especially with how much spin you can create with the carbon fiber, slicing drops just is a big no-no. A little bit is fine, but if you really hack it, it's just so much spin is coming at you on the next one, especially out of the air. And there you go. Bait him to hit the drive. That time it was on the 5th, but I think that could be exploited for them.
1-0-2.
See, I just don't like that return, because even if that goes over, it gets to them so quickly. He's not going to be balanced for the drive that's coming at him.
You don't need a big drive return. You need something deeper and possibly even slower.
Yeah. Who does that well that we play with? I feel like Jessie does that pretty well sometimes. Yeah. She's got such a powerful paddle. She just kind of puts solid wood on it and gives it height, and it goes deep, and it gives her time to get in behind it.
Yeah, I find it interesting that they're finding Patrick's chicken wing. It seems like kind of like they are in Padel a little bit. He favors backhand too heavily. Like he's good with it. He's very good with it. But when you get it all the way over to his forehand, he's still trying to hit a backhand.
Yeah, it's the same in platform tennis, which is not super similar, but somewhat similar. You just favor the backhand volley so heavily that when you come to pickleball, you tend to do the same thing. And I think they could also bait Augie a bit at the line to overstretch like that last one. You don't have to make the drops too good, but if you can sort of bait him to take him out of the air, I don't feel like he's super consistent with that one.
Mm-hmm.
And they do counter fairly well, so that could work for them.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that pattern. I'd say that's Craig's best thing.
Yeah, the cross-court dink. Engage at your own risk. Although you'd like it. You like what you play.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, Michael could look to attack Augie with that maybe.
And there's that pattern we were talking about. So the return to Michael, he hit a decent drive, but he left it just a little too high, and the lefty punishes it with his partner crashing.
Yeah, I mean, until he shows him that he's either hitting great drives and getting points off it or getting them into the line consistently, you might as well put it on him.
Yeah. It's a good hold off the drop there.
Yeah, that's one of his best things. Just the forehand off the bounce with such a big swing, you don't really know where he's going to take it.
Yeah, sort of reminiscent of Zane Navratil, where he takes those big swings on the fourths. Sometimes it can be hard to read.
Yeah.
I like that take, though. I think that they come out with that one more often than not.
Nice drive.
Suspect take there. You got to let that one through because your partner's behind you.
And it's going like directionally left, right. It's coming into your partner's body. It's going away from you. It's kind of unnecessary to take.
I don't know. I would have taken that one from you potentially because you would have missed the reset anyway.
Different team.
It's my best thing and it's your worst thing, so sometimes I have to take that for us.
Found that forehand again.
Yeah, and you called it there, just heavily sitting on the backhand, and occasionally you can come up with that one, but it's very easy to jam you over to that forehand side. Yeah, I'd stay away from that pattern. Craig really sets it up well with that backhand dink. And I got away with one there.
We did Maddie wrong. The comments are enabled. I've been able to bring them up on my phone.
We apologize, Maddie, but I was in the same
Nice,
boat.
sir. Nice, sir.
We're inadequate. We don't know what we're doing. We're just here talking to ourselves.
I love
Do we have any good comments?
This comment by A. Why are they doing this stream? Just like why? Because we love the sound of our own voices and we love Patrick.
Patrick and Ashley are wonderful people. And if they ask us to do something like this, we are more than happy to do it.
Interesting miss by Craig. Don't see that much. It looked like he was trying to, instead of attack it, even though it was above the level of the net, he was trying to take it as like a cross-court aggressive dink, which I'm like, hey, if it's above the net, you hit it hard. That's a good policy. When it's high, hit ball hard.
Simple mindset. It's like
it's a simple game. You know, if it's below the net, you dink. If it's above the net, you hit it hard.
Easy game.
Easy game.
I feel like we need to bring back that saying a little bit more. The easy game.
Easy game? Oh, yeah.
I introduced that to you in 2019 because remember one of the guys in the FGCU team would say it?
Yeah. Well, everything's an easy game. Tennis is definitely an easy game.
Very easy. Just look at Novak Djokovic play, Carlos Alcaraz. It looks super easy.
Pickleball chick. So that's got to be Caitlin. What should Pythons? I assume that means what should Pythons do? I got something brilliant for you. Play better. Just be better. You got to be better.
Their transition game has been a mess on the whole, so I would say you got to be more consistent on your.
Oh, here's a good one for you, CJ. Patrick is hitting so many backhands. Why doesn't he do it like you and slide more? The commenter is basically saying he's not sliding enough in order to actually be able to get on top of those backhands. He's hitting it from over here.
Yeah, you can do that as long as you move at the appropriate time. So the thing about the slide, it sounds effective in theory, but if you do it too early or too late with the timing of it, it doesn't work. Because if you go too early, they're going to see you move peripherally and they're going to change their spot. And then if you go too late, then the ball's already there and you're already going to be off balance. So there is sort of an art to when you slide. And then you also have to rely on your partner to cover the middle at that time. So it's a team effort, but then it's also about timing that backhand move.
Nice reset for Michael in this to get into the line there. He's making his drops now.
So like that one, again, the ball's hanging. So if I were trying to counter that, I'd probably take a step off the line for a couple of reasons. One, if Craig overhits it, you'll have the time to leave the out ball. And then number two, you just need a little bit more reaction time to get that counter down because you know he's going to attack it. And the ball was just too high.
good. I like that flat power from Patrick on the ball above level of the net. You know, some people opt for the heavy top spin, but on that one it's just high enough to where you can go low and hard to where it doesn't even come up a lot, which is kind of nice.
It's a good counter.
Ooh,
that
looked pretty in.
Yeah, that looked pretty good.
Hard to tell the ball is going that fast, but it fell in off the paddle.
I just love that they throw this chicken. Can we get a lot of challenges? I just want to see the chicken throw.
Oh, we want to see the chicken. Looking at comments, the one guy says, "Are they reading the comments now?" Yes. So the issue was, I'm on my iPad and I had to bring it up on my phone. Also, I had to download the YouTube app because when you go on Safari and open YouTube, you can't see comments. When you download the app, you can see comments. So that was.
You didn't have the YouTube app on your phone
No,
until now? What have we been doing with our lives?
You know, I don't engage in the medias very much.
Well, I don't either, but to have it on there to go and watch like comedy or something. Oh, that's way. It's inside the line.
I don't know. It's. Oh yeah, no, there's the bounce right there.
Yeah.
Definitely skids as it hits, but I feel like you're contacting there. Although you could argue that with the frame, that you see that where you do see the space, that is the bounce. I think the bounce is before the line.
The bounce is before the line for sure.
Well, they had one interesting overrule before, so I'm going to say overrule on this as well.
There's no way that doesn't get overturned.
Obsessed with you guys commentating. Thank you for doing this. Always said Colin is the best player commentator.
Sorry. It's overturned. But I do love that comment. I think that's great. I mean, there's something to be said about your commentating, too. You just do it less often. You're too busy winning all 3 divisions, so you can't be everywhere all at once.
Ooh.
Oh, little luck never hurts. Craig, I recommend a hat throw, possibly a paddle throw the next time that happens.
That only happens when it's net and then hits you.
Yeah, the hat throw is only if I get hit, specifically in the face. But you can roll your eyes and throw up your arms a little bit. Usually helps for the next one to go in your direction.
Yeah, from that on Patrick, I'd say, I mean, it's an attack where it's kind of predictable where it's going. So at that point, you are in trouble no matter what, but I would definitely be sliding a little bit more than he is because he's getting it consistently to the forehand.
That's where you want to go scorpion if you have it at your disposal. Very satisfying.
Yeah, but it was coming linear out of. It only really works if it's coming up at you.
Oh, not if you get low enough.
The Deckel theory,
or the DJ theory. Deckel and DJ both
they
get
do
down
get
like
very
on
low.
On like one knee. Remember Proposal Dave? He would get down on one knee.
Yes, he would.
Has anyone seen that guy play pickleball in a while? There was this one guy, for those of you who don't know who Proposal Dave was.
Dave Verlato.
Yeah, he used to be. Wasn't he from California? He would play.
Yeah, he lives in
like,
Florida now, though.
Oh, he does. And he would put on knee pads like
Yep.
you would if you're like skateboarding or something. And he would literally get down on both knees to, what was it, dink or like dig or?
When people were dropping to him, mostly. Sometimes when people were attacking him. But he just wanted to be on the level of the net when he was hitting like rolls, like swinging volley kind of shots.
Yeah, he was fully committed to being low. So committed, in fact, that he would wear knee pads. And this guy actually exists in real life.
Smart.
If any of you have played with him recently, let me know. That's a nice little roll. Little Mr. Deck
All right,
behind.
we got a switch.
Set up
They
the
got
offense.
their first advantageous switch here.
I'm liking what I see here. Slowing down the momentum. We like a good comeback.
I tell my partner to play better. It doesn't work. Well, Sunshine, it's the name of the person. Mostly, I think you just got to tell yourself to be better. And, you know, if you're better enough, then you can compensate for any partner. It would be helpful if they were better as well, though. I do agree. Throw the damn chicken. Got that right. Dana, I feel like the Python guys are moving way too much during the dinking rallies, especially backhand cross-court dinks. Well, Michael Lloyd loves his forehand, doesn't love his backhand as much, so he is looking for that forehand even in the dink rallies. I mean, it can work if you're aggressive enough with it. You got to threaten some attacks, some big swing attacks, some change ups, almost like a DJ Young style thing. When you're running around it, you can't just dink cross-court with that. But yeah, it can work. CJ, how many Buckeyes have you had today, good sir? From A. I just like the username A. Like, that's great. And also, how many gallons of milk? So we need a gallons of milk and how many Buckeyes today?
Well, I had my wisdom teeth extracted my last 2 last week, so I'm sort of on soft foods. So to be honest, I have not had any Buckeyes left or yet. But if there are any left by the time I get upstairs, because they were being made when I came down here, I will definitely partake of at least one Buckeye, if not many Buckeyes. So milk, I think I finished the first half gallon. Got here last night, so that's a decent effort.
Thoughts on C2? I don't know what C2 is. Love if you guys did the Agassi Graf McEnroe Sharapova match. I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, that's just too short of a return. That's a huge drive.
Carrying the momentum through the side change here.
Da, da, da.
You got any other killer comments?
I'm going to stick to the match. Jeez, Craig, come on. You're doing me dirty here.
Our boy.
I talked you up so much, and now you're missing returns on me.
Yeah, 2-run double off the wall there. Whoa, the pedal man threading the needle? No way.
Off the back foot with a one-hander? That's Stan Wawrinka right there. That's not pedal man. That's Stan Wawrinka, and I know it.
Inside in, one-handed backhand winner on the line. Alert Joey Faria. Somebody has patent infringement.
Yeah, he usually did it off the front foot, though, and just plowed through it like insane power. This guy did it off the back foot. That was definitely a Padel shot or a Stan Wawrinka shot, but call me impressed because I don't know anybody else that would even try that shot.
Daniel Roditi would have just stood on that line and stepped into it.
He just short hops it. He would short hop one-handed backhand winners. I'm like, dude, what are you on? Like, nobody even tries to do that except you, and then you just rip a winner by me.
Yeah, it was pretty demoralizing when he would be ripping winners past you like that. You're like, what do I do? I feel like I have no time. You're like in the mid-court, and the ball's already whipping past you.
Yeah, and we're like, well, I guess I just wait for you to miss eventually, hopefully.
Yeah. Didn't you play him at Nationals 2019 singles right before you played me in singles?
I did. 4-9. All right. Craig, you need to bring your level up right now.
4-9-1.
Craig, you've been disappointing us. Come on. We need more of that mixed style. Be aggressive here. Ooh, the cross-court attack. Went to it one too many
I wouldn't say
times.
that was a scorpion, but that was some kind of forehand here. I don't know. I'd give it at least a pancake rating. Maybe not a full-on scorpion.
Yeah, he did a good job of keeping the swing really short there.
Oh, C2 is the what they nicknamed the Hyperion with the new core. So the core on the paddle we both use in the Hyperion shape. So I'm still on the Perseus shape, so I use the C2 core, I guess. But yeah, I mean, if you are still a fan of the old Hyperion and like the new core, then that is the perfect one for you. You got the blend of both.
But Yola has some pretty exciting core technology coming out early next year. I actually have a prototype with me that I weighed up today, so more exciting things coming soon.
Come on, Craig. Got to get that backhand down.
10-5-1.
Nice serve.
Good return, good height.
Yeah, I feel like he hit that drop and thought it was going to bounce and rushed in, and then Craig taking the ball out of the air caused him to not have a split step, which was kind of tough to make that next one.
Threw off the timing.
Good move, just got to make it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say shot of the evening was that backhand off the back foot by a good margin.
That's not going to be outdone. There's no...
Not contested.
Yeah.
But
you see...
It's overhit a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little ambitious. One-handed backhand from that far back on the court. Even if you make that and it goes in, I feel like they have good countering opportunities. If you're a little closer, maybe... Got to make your thirds. They've done a good job up to this point with it, but you don't want to let them hang around here. Nice big serve. Catch him coming out of the stack.
There's that heavy slice kind of drop that he tries to hit, which is nice when it lands, but it's not giving the full face of the paddle when you're trying to make something consistently, so you are going to miss more.
Remember the Wes Gabrielson one-handed backhand drop in the old days?
That's pretty intense.
It was pretty intense. You would get some rotation on that puppy. A big swing. And that time he actually timed the slide with the backhand. Craig may have missed his spot a little bit, but definitely better timing with that move to the right by Patrick on that backhand counter. Nice pressure. Oh, a little Mr.
The Lloyd special.
Better third. Nice.
Don't mind that play.
Did that catch a piece of it?
It did. Wow, we're going to a set breaker. Yes, we got some excitement. All right, taking down the two guys. That's a good stuff. I think Michael definitely played up. I felt like he played aggressive, made his drops. Making the drops does wonders. And Patrick backed him up when he needed to.
Double side out
Yep, a lot of errors from the Gladiators too. Returns, missed some finishes too.
Unless a point is scored, and all points must be scored on serve.
I'm just going to read comments from Pickleball Chick only. Are you friends with Craig? Compares play to a well-known pro. Not friends with Craig, but we like him. Only played against him once or twice, but no, he's a real nice guy. So yeah, sure, call us friends. Compares play to a well-known pro. I don't know one for sure, but I'd put him at like borderline challenger level.
The Orchard at Jigsaw Health is tails. You are Pythons, the home team. What is your call? Heads is a call. Heads it is.
Well, I'm kind of hoping that Gilbert can get this set breaker and finish it because I have a hard stop in about 7 minutes. Got a dinner to attend.
But we'll take the men's again.
Oh dear, where are you at?
Huh? Oh, I'm in Washington State, Leavenworth, Washington. The most Christmassy of towns in the United States.
Interesting. Interesting decision.
J Rez, are we running Fort after this? I wish. Fort would be great. Do you guys have set plays for certain situations in a match? No, not set plays, but patterns for sure.
Yeah, more like familiarity with the cascade of events that often happen.
If Colin had to choose another men's partner that is not me, who would it be?
Well, next year I think I'm going to play another one with AJ Kohler. It's always fun to roll the dice with AJ. You never know what you're going to get. You could get absolute brilliance, and you could get a lot less than that. So.
Yeah, I would say to play one with James.
Well, I was going to say, in all seriousness, I would say James is playing great, and I think that he would complement my style well with an aggressive left side. I actually tried one with him this year earlier. Unfortunately, that was in Minnesota when it was indoors and very cold, and it did not go very well. But James had a very good tournament.
He made finals of singles, and then
finals of mixed too.
Doubles,
I was
and
like,
he's just dead in men's.
I was like, dude, what the heck? We wake up and he's like, I'm kind of sore and tired, but I can't wait to play. I was like, why'd you have to make the singles final and the mixed final? Why couldn't you just get one of them? And yeah, he's like, yeah, feel really good about today. And unfortunately, we bounced out early, but he did end up with a couple golds, so I felt good for him.
Well, running back men's doubles. Smart. They just won it, and they lost women's, so I guess that's the obvious choice.
So how many points do they play before they sub out?
I
missed the rules.
5 win by 1, I believe.
But you can only score on serve.
Yep. Yeah, so adjustments from Gilbert. I'd say, you know, it seems obvious, but what we've been saying all match, they made a few too many errors, and that's why they lost that last one. They didn't convert on a couple aggressive opportunities. I think Craig missed a couple backhand follow-ups. Augie missed a couple off of Craig's drives. They missed a return or two. But I wouldn't say strategically they changed much. They might return more to Patrick rather than Michael now, because Michael was fine on that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you change anything. Just better execution, and yeah, maybe a few more returns to Patrick. I thought you were going to say just be better.
That's never a bad thing to say.
So if they don't finish this in 7 minutes, what am I going to do? Am I just going to sit in here solo and continue, or?
Heck yeah, you can steer a ship by yourself.
Well,
one captain.
I can. It doesn't mean that I want to. Can you be running late, or are you already running late as usual?
I'm already running late. I should have left like 5 minutes ago. Okay, so that, like, my problem with that is if the ball's above level of the net, I'd say Craig, just attack it. And if it's below, I wouldn't roll a dink like that. And he's trying to roll it, but as a dink. Like, if you're gonna roll it, just attack it.
Good defense. Wow. Sneaky good. Ooh, good point.
Yeah, just attacking. Again, you got to be aware of lefties. Like, they're going to cover the middle even when they look like they're not. And he's rolling it right to the guy's forehand. I mean, that's what lefties are built to cover the best.
Return to the backhand. Smart.
That's big play.
Yeah, I'd like to see Lloyd shift off the line maybe just a little bit in that position, because I think that ball's going out, but if you're right on the line, it's really hard to let that one go.
Again, into the forehand.
Oh, they got away with it.
Yeah, not what you want to continue to do, but, you know, if Michael's going to bail you out like that, then so be it.
It's J.W. Johnson-esque, that little backhand shrug off cross court. Wow, big drive.
Huge drive. The resets from Patrick off the back end have been really nice.
Couldn't quite follow it up with that forehand roll dink. Nice variety there from Lloyd.
Some backhand, some forehand, some big swings. Got the pop-up.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's real nice. So as to the person that was mentioning before, like, why run around the backhand? It shouldn't be used for defense. Like, if you're going to run around it, you need to use it offensively, which is what he's been doing. He's been putting more pace on it with the big swing. He's threatening speed ups. It's pretty good.
Oh, a little lucky, but good drop.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Patrick's been hitting good resets and playing a good right side roll, but Michael's really elevated the level. He's hitting good drops, good drives, and he's winning the cross battle with Craig right now.
Nice rolls.
Yeah, he's getting very aggressive with that forehand.
Nice cover on the ATP
Jeez.
defense. Wow.
I mean, Patrick really has not missed many balls in a while. He's made his resets, and now he's defending ATPs. It's pretty good.
Solid. That's a good timeout. I mean, if you're the Pythons, you really want to carry this momentum into a big lead because your ladies did lose. So if you can build them up a lead, that'll really help their confidence a lot as they move to the second part of this.
Is there a second part, or did they just play a 5? I thought it was just a 5.
I thought that is it to only 5? I'm confused. I thought that they subbed the ladies
I don't
in.
know. I don't know if they sub ladies in and go to 11, or do they just do one team to 5? I don't actually know. Somebody in the comments help us. Someone that was listening to the explanation.
Honestly, I did not pay attention to the explanation. I'm a terrible viewer. And I've never watched Tuesday Night Pickleball before, so I am ignorant of these things.
Smart leave. It's tough to leave a ball that is that close at this tense of a moment. It's pretty good.
We definitely want to see some singles. I mean, you want to go to dinner, but
everybody else wants to see it, and I won't see it either way. A couple more balls on Patrick could be the move.
I feel like a speed up is
Michael's
coming
playing
from
pretty
Augie.
Yeah, I like how Michael is both shifting and jumping to get on top of the ball. So even when the attack's a little higher, he's getting down on it. And very active shifting is super helpful just to not get caught with a forehand in the wrong place there. He's like getting on top of it with a backhand despite it going more to his forehand side.
Yeah. A backhand out of the air.
Again,
good follow up, but you have the
covering.
lefty. Yeah. The lefty in the center is just so nice to have when Craig's just a little off balance, out of position. Oh, he's all over that backhand.
I don't think leaving that. I think it would have stayed in.
Yeah, I think it would have stayed in. That's a tough shot to keep in on the counter.
Jeez, Michael's playing huge. Like, he's not just countering drives decently. Like, he's taking big rips off of drives, which is an impressive counter.
Yeah, no doubt. Using the pace that they're giving him.
Come on, Patrick. You've made every single other one. What's up with that one? Geez, some really deep returns.
Yeah.
I feel like Michael's just playing with super low margin, but he's making everything. Other than that one.
What's happening?
I think one of their teammates tried to call the ball out, and then they tried to play it, and then the other team stopped. So in this case, I'd say they have to stick with their call, even though the player can't call it. They're kind of assuming that the call was out, and now they're challenging it. I don't know.
Now we have controversy. This is not what you need with your dinner plans.
No, well, I'll go put my my jacket on now.
All right, I'll hold down the fort here. It appears that they awarded the Gladiators that point.
All right, tell me what happened.
Oh, nice jacket.
Yeah.
Got to suit up. Wow. What a
Barney said it
turnaround.
best. Got to suit up.
So they awarded the point to the Gladiators on that controversy.
Oh, boy, their teammate must feel terrible. I don't know who called it, but that's not...
Not great. No, that's very costly. And now they rattled off another point here.
Yeah, I mean, if they end up losing this now 5-3, that's tough looks.
Oh, he's
But
sitting
no,
on that
Patrick's on
backhand.
top of the counter, big time.
Did a good job of sliding at the right time on that one.
Ooh, that looked attackable.
Oh, nice combination there.
Again, Michael's playing huge.
He attacked the backhand and then slid nicely, pulled the next one. Comes out on top. Now we got 4-4. It's win by 1 to 5, right?
Yep, next point wins. Oh, what
drop.
a nice drop.
Oh, it's getting good. Yep, big swing. Let's see a big attack.
He's playing pretty spazzy. Playing
He's just trying to
spazzy.
play
Could
some.
be tough.
I kind of like it. It's kind of reminded me of DJ Young right now.
Oh, there's the pop-up. Could this be any longer of a 5-point breaker?
You're going to be very late for dinner. You can tell whoever you're having dinner with that it was a really good match and you just couldn't tear yourself away.
Mm-hmm. The late paddle tap.
Little late paddle tap. He wants it. He leaves the drop very high. This does not look promising for them, but it is.
Oh, that's a
match point
nice little
down.
drop. Oh, that's a nice little nifty drop.
No, he
Patrick's
didn't.
too good. You can't attack
Patrick's-
Patrick's backhand. You can
That
only
pedal
attack the forehand.
backhand. Get that out of here. Weak stuff. Weak sauce.
Pretty clutch play. Well, you know, at least it wasn't a blowout. They are making it very exciting. One more point, and they're at 50-50. Oh, that turn was gonna be long.
Gosh.
That's an unlucky net cord.
So not only does that not go out, and then
they
they
get a
get
net
bad
cord
luck
out.
off the
Yeah.
net cord.
Rough.
That hurts.
After
One
that
more
ball goes
stop.
in,
It's
like,
right
that's a
back.
Great drop. Oh, works the second time.
What
and
a
it's
comeback. Wow. Well, at least you were
All right.
here with us till the conclusion.
Yeah, at least I was. All right, guys. Well, I mean, you can say more stuff out of it after this, but thanks for joining us. This was fun. Congrats to the Gladiators. Peace.
Yeah. All right. Enjoy your dinner. I'll have a closing statement here, and well, he was very quick to sign off. Well, for those of you who tuned in, thanks for watching. Ben and I had a lot of fun doing this. Thanks to Jigsaw, Patrick, and Ashley for having us on. Hope you all enjoyed it as well. And tune in to Tuesday Night Pickleball. I believe it's next season that it'll debut again. But again, thanks everyone for tuning in. Catch you next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a match. Give it up for the Peoria Pythons. What a season. Augustus, I'm going to start with you. Walk us through those last couple points right there.
I couldn't if I tried. I was just blacked out. But it was a lot of fun. Probably the most fun I've ever had playing pickleball.
It was fantastic. Ariel, tell us a little bit of the strategy you guys had against the girls you just dominated.
I don't know if we had too specific of a strategy. I mean, we just wanted to make balls, play good defense, try to move the dink around as much as we could. So just thought we executed really well.
Awesome. Ashley, Ariel lives out of town. You guys don't get to practice that much. So when she does come into town, what are some of the strategies you guys talk on the phone, or what are some of the things that you guys do to make up for that?
We have pretty good chemistry. So I think we cold plunge together. We have a group chat.
Okay.
Yeah, desert plunge.
All right. I like that. Our captain, Craig Johnson. I would say head and shoulders above everybody else, but he uses resume. Wow, that's tough. Okay. All right, tell us that last point. What's going on?
Oh, I just hit a big drive with the Proton. I just switched it. Thank Charles and the Proton team, and then let Augie finish it. Augie's a king among men, so we just let him take care of business tonight.
Great job, great job. Here's your bat, by the way. I'll give you that back to you. Well, what we've all been waiting for. Brad Dohonick, he's the GM of the Scottsdale Scorchers. He has the cup. Brad, bring that cup to these guys. No, he'll bring it over. Bring it on over here, Brad. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Orchard at Jigsaw Health, your Season 2 champions, Gilbert Gladiators.
Thank you so much for making this season of the Arizona Pickleball League magical and amazing.
Why do you both play pickleball?
Well, I used to do drugs, and then when I stopped doing drugs, I found that pickleball was a great answer to the endorphin rush that I would get.
It is one of the fastest growing sports in the country right now, and for good reason.
I got hooked. If you're watching this documentary right now, you've probably been hooked. If you're a pickleball player, if you're not, you're going to go play and you're probably going to get hooked. Trust me.
I can't even remember what the sport was like a year ago. The growth of it is exponential in the past year. And in the next 6 months, I couldn't even tell you where it's going. There's a cultish kind of aura about the sport.
Whenever people ask about the future, I'm just like, heck, man, it's pickleball. It just goes in leaps and bounds because there's an insatiable thirst for all things pickleball.
This is now the most played sport in America. I think we will see pickleball in the Olympics in the next 10 years.
My biggest circle of friends today are my pickleball buddies and gals. Absolutely.
Pickleball has a very social and thriving community that like to be interacting with each other, especially over pickleball.
The community is probably the best part of pickleball, right? I get hit a lot. Yeah.
And that's it. It's just a great sport to play. And if you haven't played pickleball, play pickleball because it's a great sport.